Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all safe and healthy. So today I'm here at Automobile for you to take a look at the brand new 2022 Lexus LX 600. In this video I'll let you know everything you need to know about the car, and in the end I'll let you know what my thoughts are about the Lexus LX 600, whether it's a good buy or not. So do watch till the end. And I just wanted to give a big thanks to Automobile for you for allowing me to come here and make the video with the Lexus LX 600. So to show my appreciation, I want you, the viewers, to go ahead and follow them on Instagram and let them know in the comments that you came after watching my channel, so that in the future they'll allow me to make more videos with their cars. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, guys, do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well. Do turn on your notifications so that you'll be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. And now let's take a look at the LX 600. Alright guys, so here it is, the Lexus LX 600. This particular model is I think the Elite model. In Saudi Arabia we have total 5 models: the Excellence, Elite, F Sport, and then we have the VIP and VIP with the black appearance package. So you can see obviously the F Sport has a different type of a front end which looks like this. And this particular model, you can see, has this new grille design that Lexus have introduced for this model here, and you can see it has increased in size by a lot. So you can see all the horizontal slats over here with your Lexus badge that has all the radar sensors hidden behind it, and you have your front parking camera right over there. Then this side over here, you can see we have some vents that Lexus have integrated for obviously cooling, and you have some more side air intakes which lead to radiators. And down below you do have LED fog lamps as well. Then you can see this particular model, since this is the Elite trim, it has a different front bumper from the F Sport, which is a bit higher up, and you have this grey color skid plate down below. Then you do have the Lexus tri-beam LED headlights which look pretty nice, and you can see we have the signature LED DRL as well, which is integrated with the turn signal as well. Then up top you can see we have the hood with the domes on either side, and obviously these corners help to judge the car better on while driving through the corners. So that is, I think, a pretty nice design touch. This particular paint is called the Nori Green Metallic, which is one of my favorite Lexus colors, and it looks really nice on this Lexus LX 600. Moving on to the side, you can see we have 22-inch wheels as standard. All the LX 600 get the 22-inch wheels. They only have different styles across all the trims. So this one has a multi-spoke diamond cut design, and you can see the brakes behind it with the Lexus calipers. And in terms of size, it's a 265 section tire with a 50 series sidewall, and obviously the 22-inch rim. In terms of suspension, you do have adaptive variable suspension, which obviously adjusts the height according to the drive mode you are in, and you can also manually adjust it when you go into the off-road modes. This particular model has the Turbo Sport badge. I am not sure what that exactly means. Maybe it's just some marketing term by Lexus, but you have the Turbo Sport badge over here. This is your side view mirror with your chrome detailing and your LED indicators right over there. And you do have a camera right at the bottom for your 360-degree parking camera. Here you can see the window line is surrounded by chrome. I'm not sure, but you might get a black appearance package which blacks out all the chrome around the windows, and then you do have some chrome on the door handles as well. Down below you can see the running boards. These are fixed running boards, unlike the foldable ones which you get on the German and American rivals, but Lexus have not decided to do that. Then here you can see we have the same 22-inch wheel with the same size tire, so no difference over there. Now moving to the rear, you can see Lexus have done a pretty big design change over there. This is my favorite angle of the LX 600. So you have a full width light bar with your Lexus badge right in the center. So they have removed the emblem, and now they have started writing Lexus in letters, which I think does look pretty good. And again, you do have the Turbo Sport badge right over there with your LX 600. These are your indicators, by the way. And down below you can see this particular model has the tow hitch, and this is how the lower bumper looks. We have some chrome detailing over here, and obviously if you go for the F Sport variant, you do have a different design. By the way, with this you have the capability of towing 3,630 kilos, which is 8,000 pounds. Pretty impressive, but not as much as the American counterparts. So now let's take a look at the boot space. Okay, so this is the space you get in the Lexus LX 600. Now obviously this has the third row up, so that's why it has a lot of less space. These are electrically foldable by using these buttons right over there. So you can see you have to hold them, by the way. Only then the seats go down. It's not a one touch operation. So you can see when the seats go down, they fold flat, unlike the jump seats of the previous generation, which used to take a lot of space around here. This one does not take a lot of space, and you have a flat floor. With the third row seats folded, you have around 44 cubic feet of space, which is like 1245 liters, and you can obviously fold the second row of seats down, which gives you 1812 liters of space. That is like 64 cubic feet, so pretty nice. And obviously with the third row, you do have some capabilities or functions over here. You have a USB-C port, and you do have the option of reclining the third row of seats electrically as well. So that's all in the boot space. Now let's move on and take a look at the engine bay. Okay, so this is the engine bay of the LX 600, and you have the new twin turbo 3.5 liter V6, which is shared with the new Land Cruiser as well. So the new engine produces 410 horsepower and 650 newton meters of torque, which is like 480 pound-feet of torque, and it is attached to a 10-speed automatic, and it runs through the full-time four-wheel drive system. Altogether, this whole package moves this Lexus LX 600, which weighs around 2680 kilos or 5,900 pounds, from 0 to 100 in just 7 seconds, and you have a top speed of 210 kilometers per hour, which is 130 miles per hour. So pretty impressive. Now let's move on to the interior. Okay, so moving on to the interior, this particular Lexus LX 600 has this tan interior, which is one of my favorite colors, by the way. And I think it does look pretty nice. You do have different leather options, like you have a white option and a black option as well. The F Sport also gets the option of a red and black leather interior as well. So let's start with the door trim. So the door trim, as you can see, this top part has soft molded injection plastic, which is obviously soft to the touch. Then down below you have your memory seating controls, and this particular Lexus has this wood finish, which is obviously polished. I'm not a fan of this. I do like the open pore finishes, which I think you get on the VIP or ultra luxury model, but this does look good for the type of the interior this particular model has. Then the leather is nice and soft to the touch. You do have your leather right over here as well. You do have gloss black plastic. You'll have to clean it up a lot, so do keep that in mind. These are your window switches with your central locking and side mirror controls. You do have a small amount of door storage space as well. This particular one does not have the Mark Levinson speaker system. That's a 25 speaker system, and I think it's optional. This one has the standard 10 speaker system. Then let's take a look at the seats. So these are the standard seats. With the F Sport, you do get a sportier seat, but this is the standard one, and it does look nice and soft. And then you do have some electric controls for it with your lumbar. This is your thigh adjustment, and obviously the seat height and stuff. Then you do have a sill plate with the illuminated Lexus logo. And now let's jump inside and take a look at the interior. Okay, so this is the interior of the LX 600, and let's start with the dashboard quality first. So the dashboard quality is nice and soft. This is actually plastic, and you do have a heads-up display as well. I hope I can just show it to you clearly. There you can see it's a 10-inch heads-up display, and then all across the dashboard the quality is nice and soft. This is the only part that is covered in leather, and again obviously it is nice and soft as expected from Lexus. And let's talk about the design of the interior. So the design of the interior is obviously new when compared to the last generation, and the Lexus steering wheels are one of my favorites. This particular one has the wood inserts on it, and with the F Sport variant you do have the F Sport badge. This one does not have that. And let's talk about the buttons on the steering wheel. So this obviously controls this display, and you have your volume controls, voice assistant, and here you have your cruise control settings, mode, and other stuff. Then behind you do have some nice paddle shifters with your light controls, and obviously your windshield wipers. On this side you have this button for the view. So if you press that, you have a 360-degree camera view, and you can see the car is in the paint color of the exterior. So a nice touch. But I don't think this is as good as the systems you get in the BMWs, because you can see you only have a limited view around the car. So I think that is something Lexus should improve. But that's your 360-degree view. You do have some more buttons right here. So this is to open your tailgate, and down below you have your latch to open the fuel compartment and to open the hood. Then let's talk about this display. So this is an 8-inch display. I think Lexus should have made it a full screen display instead of the small display. It would have looked a lot better, honestly. And you can see we have some controls. So this is currently all the functions you can go through, all the safety systems. Currently it's in Arabic because it is set up like that, so I cannot tell you each and every feature what it is. But you do have some other functions. So this looks like some safety warnings. Then this is your lane assist and stuff. This is your music, your navigation, or basically a compass, and you have your trip computer and fuel efficiency and stuff. Then moving on to the center screen. So this is new from Lexus. This has the latest infotainment software that Lexus introduced on the NX as well. So here's your map. Again, you can see how it is nice and responsive. Then here's your music, or basically radio, your phone settings. You do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as well as standard. Here are your vehicle settings. So this is currently showing all your average speed and stuff. Then you have your normal settings as well. Here you have your start stop button and your volume knob as well. Then coming down, you have your 7-inch display, which is again new, and you can see currently it shows all the off-road settings of the car. So this is your AHC is obviously your height or suspension height. It's in normal. Then you have your climate control vents here, so you can control your fan blower speed from here, which I think is pretty nice. Then you have your separate tab for the climate. This is your tab for the car or the off-road settings. So you can see we have your brake and accelerator meter, a gyroscope, and I think this is also a G meter as well. Then you have some settings for your ambient lighting, but currently I cannot see any ambient lighting around the car. I don't know if it's visible or not. So ambient lighting, I think Lexus should up their game over here. Then coming down below, you have some more climate controls. This is to control obviously your temperature. Here's your auto button. This is obviously for circulation. You have your hazard button right here, and this is your climate concierge. So this obviously, if you click that and set a particular temperature, it will work with the seat heating or ventilation, and then with the climate control as well, to make the cabin exactly that temperature so that you feel comfortable. Then coming down below, we have the MTS switch or the multi-terrain select. I have explained that in detail in my Land Cruiser GR Sport video, which you can watch it right over here. So, and then you have your let me just show you the modes over here. So you have auto, then you have dirt, you have sand, mud, and deep snow. Then you have your drive mode button here. So with the drive mode, you can go from eco, comfort, normal, sport, sport plus, and custom. So you have in total like 5 modes. Then here you have your crawl system, which is obviously an off-road system, and here you have your 4-wheel drive control, low gear or high. Then down below you can see we have a USB-C port with a USB-A port, and you have your seat ventilation for the passenger side. Then the same thing for your driver's seat as well. This blank button is for the steering wheel heating. This particular model does not have that. This is your gear selector for your 10-speed transmission. And to take a look at the rear camera, this is your rear camera, and it looks like this. So you can see the guidelines move with it as well, so pretty nice. Then here we can see we have your more of the wood trim, and you have your electronic parking brake. This is your auto hold, central differential locking, your traction control, and this is to adjust the height of the suspension. This particular model has the wireless charger right over here. You have your cup holders right here as well. Then you do have a glove box, which is a nice size, and it's not lined with felt, by the way, but it is a decent amount of size, so you can store a lot of stuff. Up top you can see we have some light controls, so you can turn on your lights, all LED lighting, and you have your controls for your sunroof. For some reason Lexus have introduced this, Lexus have kept this small sunroof. I hope they could have introduced a panorama sunroof, which would have brought in more light inside. And you have your sunglasses holder as well. In terms of headroom, you can see I have a okay amount of headroom with the sunroof open, but in the seats I am pretty comfortable because these are not the F Sport seats, so it's not hugging me very tightly, but I feel they are pretty comfortable as well. And now let's take a look at the rear seats. Okay, so this is the rear section of the LX600. You have a manual sunshade, which I'll just show it to you. It's not electrically operated though. You have the same wood trim and same materials as on the front door, and everything is nice and soft touch. You have some gloss black with your window controls, and you do have an okay amount of door storage. Here you can see we have the illuminated sill plate, and these are how the seats look. You do have a latch over here, which obviously folds the seat down to give you access to the third row, and the third row looks like this. I will not be attempting to go over there because obviously it's not that much of a space, so I'll just show you the space in the second row. So let's go inside. Okay, so this is something I expected from the LX600 because they have not increased the size of the interior dimensions. You can see I do not have a lot of space in the rear seats. I have the front driving seat in my driving position, and I am 6'4" or 195 centimeters. So basically I do not have a lot of space for my knees behind myself. For someone shorter than me will be fine, but if you are a taller passenger, you will have a tight room over here. You can see this particular model has the I think these are 11-inch screens or 12-inch screens. So these are basically the same infotainment display right like that, and you have all your controls over here. This one also has some seat back pockets as well for your storage. Up top you do have some LED lights which look pretty good, and the roof lining is also pretty nice and soft. Let's talk about the center console, which I forgot to talk about actually. So the center console is pretty nice and soft, and you can obviously open it from here, and you can see it has a cool box. So if you have some drinks and stuff, you can keep that over there, and they'll obviously be cooled. And by the way, this center console opens both ways. So as you can see, I opened it the other way, and this opens the other side as well for the passenger to access it. So this over here is the ventilation system for the rear passengers, and you can see we have your fan controls, your temperature controls, and seat heating and ventilation as well. So pretty nice. And then you do have some air vents over here as well, so you can control that from there. And we have the armrest as well. Currently I cannot show you the armrest because it is covered in plastic, but you do have that, and it is a nice chunky armrest. But that's all in the back. I do not have a lot of headroom as well. As you can see, my head is touching the roof liner, but obviously shorter passengers than me will be fine over here. But taller passengers, I think you should if you're pretty tall and most of your family consists of tall people, I think you should consider something like the Cadillac or the Lincoln or even the Mercedes and the BMW, because there is not a lot of space in the Lexus LX 600, and that is where I think it falls short. And I think that's all there is to show in the Lexus LX 600. Alright guys, so that was the video on the Lexus LX 600. Hope you enjoyed it a lot. And what do I personally think about the LX 600? Is that I think Lexus could have done a lot more. They have just stuck to the same wheelbase, the same similar interior dimensions, which obviously is a disadvantage when you think about its competitors from US and Europe, because all of the competitors have a lot more interior space, which I think is a disadvantage for the Lexus LX 600. I personally could not fit behind myself in the LX 600, whereas I have easily sat behind myself in the second row seats in the Escalade and also the Mercedes GLS. So those two cars were a lot more comfortable for me. I think the LX 600 is fine for those who are of average height. Taller people will have a problem or an issue with the second row seating. And obviously with the third row that is behind the second row, it's pretty much not usable for adults. Only very small children will be able to sit in at the back seats or the third row. So that is one thing you should consider. But overall, you have to keep in mind that Lexus reliability is a lot better than all of those competitors combined. So that is also one advantage in its bag. So overall, I think Lexus could have done a lot more, but they decided to keep themselves restrained. Maybe it was due to the pandemic. They had time shortage and all that stuff. Maybe all those factors, they couldn't improve it a lot more than they could have, but that's it. I think if you have a lot more people in your family, I suggest looking elsewhere like the Escalade, Lincoln Navigator, or even the BMW X7 and Mercedes GLS, because they obviously provide a lot more interior space. But if you are someone who is looking for good off-road capability, so that is something the Lexus is, I think, a bit better than the competitors, because it is based on the new Land Cruiser, and the new Land Cruiser has proven itself for off-road. So obviously the new LX 600 is going to be good off-road as well. So it's up to you. But I personally would go for something like the BMW X7 or the Cadillac Escalade. So that was all, and I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. So do leave a like and do subscribe to the channel as well, and do turn on your notifications so that you will be the first ones to know when I upload later videos. And thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.